First of all, a few years ago, where's the clock? First of all, a few years ago, I was asked to do a little talk at the local fire hall here about writing and about self-publishing, and it was sponsored by the Napas Valley Farm Women's Association. And as I get up to speak, I look down here and 200 women. There's me in a fire hall with 200 women. Until I looked around, I'm sure that Lawrencetown was there. I felt a little better. Even if you weren't, I was still there for 200 women. Yes, I went to school here. I went to Acadia, met Paulette there. We got married and taught school in the city. And we come back. We knew we wanted to come back to the valley, and we come back to the house I grew up in. It was sort of unique, and I just wonder how many people here can say they live in the house they grew up in. So I taught school here, and we lived on 200 acres of land. So I thought, gee, I like to try raising some beef. You know, must be money in beef. So I immediately got involved in the administrative end of it. I was on the board of the Western Valley Beef Owners Association. And when the mad cow disease hit, I said, no, that's enough for me. So I get out of it. But I was fortunate that I could do that because I had an education, and I fell back on teaching. But I found out that a lot of my friends that were involved in the industry couldn't do that. They had to diversify or starve, but they held out. And I think that's a point about living in rural Canada or Nova Scotia, that you got to be willing to diversify or stay with it and suffer some of the hardships. So after I got out of that, I thought, well, heck, forestry. I got 200 acres of land. I'll get involved in that. So immediately one of my friends says, well, you should be on the board here, so we'll put you in as Secretary Treasurer of the Valley Forest Fiber Producers Association. So then we know where the wood industry went. So in the meantime, I guess Paula and I started to write, and I wrote books. I spent about 30 years researching a little place called Roxbury. And so Paulette said once, you said, you better get this into print before someone else does it, or people start dying that want to maybe read this. So I did the book, and that was like years ago, and it still sells. It still sells. I think everybody in their mind has a Roxbury, whether it be here or somewhere else. And there is lots of Roxburys around this area. We were fortunate enough to be able to sort of bring this heritage sort of alive and sell it. I think there is a market for culture and heritage. We don't make money on it. I also do a little chainsaw carving. People ask us, do you make money at selling books? We said, we make enough money off one book to start the next. And as far as the chainsaw carving goes, if I had a TV reality show, maybe. There are two on TV. They asked me, would you watch those shows? Gee, I said, if I could charge what those guys charge, I'd retire right from my third job. Anyway, this Roxbury has sort of grown, and now through the goodness of Lafarge Canada and the Department of Tourism Museums in this province gave us money to put up interpretive signage. So now if anybody visits this abandoned settlement, I don't have to go there anymore. I'll use that 1 minute, or I got 1 minute left.
Go. 1 minute left.
Okay. So anyway, I don't have to cart people back there anymore. In fact, just this Thursday, I did take a reporter from the Chronicle Herald and a photographer who was doing a story for the Chronicle Herald magazine on ghost towns in Nova Scotia. And he thinks that perhaps, some of the towns are going to end up like Roxbury as a ghost town. As far as businesses go, I know on our road, on the 201, and you can't get much rural than the 201 unless you're in the woods, from the Paradise corner to the Lawrencetown corner, there are about 7 businesses, all legitimate businesses. And we do see when you see a big business close, it's a visual thing. There's no big sign there anymore. And once that's gone, it's gone. You say, oh my God, we've lost another business. But 2 or 3 have sprung up somewhere else. Time's up. Thank you very much.